And then when we look at the future, Stephen, let's get crazy. Let's get nuts. Am I out of pocket for saying that this kid has defensive player of the year potential?
Yes.
Oh, boo. You're no fun.
You asked me a question. What you mean?
Fun.
You asked me a question.
You're no fun.
I'm sorry. I'm keeping it a buck.
Fun. We're supposed to get best. You think best case scenario, the 7-foot dude with a 9'6" to 9'8" standing reach, depending on who you ask, does not have defensive player of the year potential?
Have you seen the way that the defensive player of the year race has played out the last handful of years?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Has that always made sense?
No, it hasn't always made sense. But do you see just one defensive player of the year this year?
So if his name is not as loud in terms of popularity as other names, is his name going to be louder than the names he's going to be included in this conversation with on a season-to-season basis?
Look.
You asked me to be honest.
Okay, I'm talking about like 5-10 years down the line. He's been established in the league. He's a top 10 pick. Listen, I know we're going to talk about realistic scenarios. That sounds like a realistic scenario here. Let's say that for 5 minutes. Be pie in the sky with me here, my friend.
I'm trying to. I think he can be very good. I think he can be elite defensively. Is he defensive player that you're capable? That remains to be seen.
I think he has
because it's not just him. Also, it has to be the team. He has to have a top 5 defense.
I agree.
I think the worst we've seen is like a 6 defense, a 6 person that's anchoring a 6 place defense. Win it. 3
good young defenders to pair with him. It's
how many players on the court at one time?
I get it. We're talking 5-10 years now. Man, you are trying to ruin my Friday, Stephen.
This is called balance. You are in the stratosphere past where I can even imagine. I'm a little closer to Earth.
Is it my lack of sleep?
Yes.
Okay.
You're welcome.
I mean, listen, his intangibles.
Yeah.
His intangibles, I do believe, puts him in the same light as some of the players we've seen win Defensive Player of the Year, whether it's Rudy Gobert, whether it's Evan Mobley. And I'm acknowledging this is not likely. I'm not sitting here saying this kid's going to win Defensive Player of the Year sometime in his career. But he has the intangibles to do so. He has the rim deterrent rate to do so. I think he can get his hands on blocks to do so. If he can go out and defend on the perimeter like Evan Mobley is able to do, and I think that he is able to rack up stocks, especially blocks. Obviously, you look at a guy like Wembanyama. Obviously, you look at a guy like Evan Mobley. Obviously, you look like a guy Rudy Gobert, and you think Giannis Antetokounmpo. How could Khaman Maluach, compete with that? I look at it and say 5 to 10 years down the line, when this kid's 28 years old, 29 years old, I think that he has all the potential in the world. And we talk about having 5 players on the court. 10 years down the line, is Devin Booker on the court? Right? Are we sure that Ryan Dunn isn't also competing to be first team all NBA defense in his, age 30 season? Right? Who else do the Suns draft when they obviously are targeting guys who play defense like a Rasheer Fleming, who we'll talk about here in a second? I think that if we're going pie in the sky, I don't think we can exclude the absolute ceiling, which is he has all the measurables and the mindset to win that. I'm not going to put my money on it. I'm not going to tell you that's a realistic scenario. But if I'm getting pie in the sky, I think that's absolutely on the table.
I don't know if DPOY is on the board, man. I just don't know. That's literally MVP of the defense across the entire NBA. I just don't know if he has that one of one about him on the defensive end.
Okay.
He's a special talent for sure. I think he has all NBA status that's written in the stars for him. Maybe within the next 3 years,
so
honestly.
All NBA status written in the stars, but you can't sniff a defensive player.
I mean, we saw Marc Gasol win it and then not going to all NBA
team.
Well,
that's just all the stupid voters. Hopefully in 10 years from now they fix that.
To my point though, his entire career is about to be overlapping with Evan Mobley and Victor Wembanyama, among other centers to come in power forwards to come into the NBA. But we also know that it's maybe even
and
right now
Gobert,
he still has Rudy Gobert in there right now.
Well, yeah, but by the time that Maluach is going to be in contention, Rudy Gobert is going to be kicking his feet.
Rudy might have one more defensive player of the year under him, so that takes 1 year off of Maluach's opportunity to go get one. And then by the time that's done, going into the season after next, Victor Wembanyama is already a perennial All-Star MVP candidate, Defensive Player of the Year candidate.
I hear you.
Evan Mobley's trying to defend his crown next season.
I thought Wembanyama was going to win Defensive Player of the Year this year.
Until he got hurt.
And stuff happens.
They hit the default button.
Stuff happens.
That's true.
Yeah, so I hear what you're saying. Okay.
That's like saying Dylan Harper is going to be an MVP because of the offensive prowess and the potential he has. You can say that. I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it, but you feel me? There's a field of competition that's already ready for it now.
Yeah, I hear you. I'm not saying it'd be easy. I'm just saying I think pie in the sky scenario, best case for his ceiling. Settle the debate here, Ayrton. Settle the debate.
I think that Maluach in 5 years will be Giannis with a jump shot.
I like this kid. I like the juice man. Okay. Do we have any other thoughts on the best case scenario for Khaman Maluach?
Yes. That I think best case is that he can.
I would have died if you said he could win Defensive Player of the Year. I would have
Nah, if I was in my bag today, I would have pressed that button. I ain't quite there yet.
We all silly like the mayor.